So everyone, and welcome. Now, we've waited for this for quite a long time, and I'm not gonna let you wait. I mean, of course, you've probably already seen the trailer, but I want to talk about the trailer. I want to talk about this new game, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Spoiler alert, that's the title. And I want to take the time to talk about some stuff involving the game. It's cool. I've already seen the trailer, but I wanted to walk you guys through the trailer so I can talk about some stuff along with the trailer. Team 17, I like the colors on that logo, that's pretty great. Purple and green are exactly the kinds of colors that we need. Some purple right there, some purple, and we got some green as well. They're all kitted out with the correct colors. Right off the bat, we've still got the whole sort of lore going on with the grand tomes, or just tomes in general, which are mystical, magical items that have worlds inside them. And it seems in this game, more than in Yooka-Laylee, we're really gonna go into actually hopping from world to world to world and really going to the bottom of the mystery of the magical tomes. Maybe not the actual bottom of the mystery, but at least we're gonna work more with that sort of lore about the world. We can also see that it seems like in the back, is that Shipwreck Creek? By the way, the reason I haven't maximized the player is mostly, I don't know how copyright for this works. I don't know. Anyway, you see, is that Shipwreck Creek? Is it supposed to be like, hey, this is Shipwreck Creek in 2D, like the 2D overworld version of Shipwreck Creek? So I guess this kind of like shows us where this kind of is. We can see something in the top right, which seems just like, is that a lighthouse? It seems like a lighthouse with some fixtures on it. It seems like maybe that's a place you're gonna go to. Maybe you're gonna go to some lighthouse as well. So there you go, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. The Impossible Lair, it has this like action sort of, this, how would you call this? It's like a font that is, it's kind of like having action lines in a manga or whatever. This is kind of like, it's like very dynamic sort of typeface, I would say. With a saw blade in the back, I guess it's really supposed to be dangerous this time. I think this is a... Yeah, this is just gibberish right here. Not gibberish, this is just a Lorem Ipsum, probably. Maybe, is it actually the Lorem Ipsum? Let me check. It is Lorem Ipsum, oh my god. Take on Vibrant 2D. Also, right off the bat, we can actually see that there's an enemy that scans Yooka and Laylee right at the start here. So, apparently there's an enemy, that, or just parts of the stage where you get like searchlights, and I assume, let me see if we can see what's happening. It actually seems to not do anything. I thought that maybe this would like raise an alarm or something, or get an enemy to attack you, but maybe this is something completely different. Maybe this is a checkpoint, because this could very well be a checkpoint. Also, something we see in the back, we see some more, there's a statue and some more ivory type, how would you say, some ivory type, some stuff that looks like it's from the Ivory Tower architecture words. So some Ivory type architecture with like the honeycombs and stuff. And we see this new character that we also see towards the end of this. It's not really prominently shown in this trailer, but there is this new character, the Queen Bee. I'm just gonna call it Queen Bee because, I mean, that's a pun right there, even though it's not a very good pun. It's just... Anyway, we have Queen Bee, and she's probably a good character, and we're gonna maybe have this like fight where we have the good characters, the good side. I mean, of course, good versus bad, but we're gonna have not just all bees are evil. We're gonna have good bees, and we're gonna have bad bees, and the good bees are led by the Queen Bee, and the bad bees are gonna be led by the capital B. So we also see some watery platform that you're jumping on, which is pretty cool. Just some different areas we're going to see. This is like an underground area with some machinery and stuff going on. Flashbacks to inside the Rusty Bucket Bay. Yep. That did not load correctly. Saw some more minions on the side, and we've got another area which seems like it's also in the same hub area, I would say. Like, this is probably a different level than what we just saw. Maybe not. This I think is probably a different level, but in the same sort of hub area. And this might also be a different level. They might all be the same level. We don't actually know. But also something that I want to note is, it's pretty obvious at this point that of course they're using pretty much the same tech that they used for Yooka-Laylee. They've just repurposed it as a 2D platform, and it seems like they're using a lot of the same assets as well, like of course Yooka-Laylee themselves. We've got the crates, I think. They're pretty much the same. Actually, they do look a bit different. They look upgraded, so they've like upgraded the asset for those. Quills look pretty much the same. I think the minions looked also mostly the same, but also upgraded. So it seems like they've upgraded a lot of the assets that they had. But of course also creating a whole bunch of new assets. Like a lot of the stuff you see on screen right now is completely new. Because as it should be, because this is not really a sequel, but it's hard to say if it's like 100% of the game that Yooka-Laylee 1 was. I'm just gonna call it Yooka-Laylee 1, even though I know it's not a sequel. This is not Yooka-Laylee 2, but if I just say Yooka-Laylee, this is also called Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Layers. I'm gonna call the other one Yooka-Laylee 1, okay? So Yooka-Laylee 1, that was like a full 3D adventure with a certain amount of content, and this is a full 2D adventure, but does it have the same amount of content in it? Or is it shorter? Is this like some short spin-off? Maybe this is just a spin-off, or maybe this is just a fully fledged game. So this is like the two things that I'm worried about. Is it more like a smaller thing, like just testing the waters, waters on one screen, testing the waters, or maybe it really is a full thing? Personally, I think it's a full game, like with the same amount of content that Yooka-Laylee 1 has, but we still don't quite know. Anyway, I think this is gonna have as much content as Yooka-Laylee 1, and I think it might even have a bit more, because here's why. Like I said, they're using a lot of the same tech, they're using a lot of the same assets, but they've upgraded them. And if you use the same tech and you use some of the same assets, but you upgrade them, it gives you more time to work on new stuff that you can then all throw together in a pot to make more of what you had before. I'm just talking a lot of weird stuff right now, but basically what I'm saying is you have these two assets right here. You can see where my mouse is. This pillar from below sort of clips into the wood over here. You see that clipping? Damn, that's some bad stuff right there. That's basically what I wanted to talk about, that clipping right there. But yeah, I think this is going to be about the same amount of content. That's what I wanted to say. More lorem ipsum. Explore 3D overworld. So we have over here... what is the name of the bird? I forgot. I know it's Btw I is the canon. But it seems like the overworld is 3D. Now, I don't think the 3D overworld is going to be like Yooka-Laylee 1. Like it's not going to play like Yooka-Laylee 1. It's just going to be more of a gimmicky sort of thing. Like, you know, in Donkey Kong Country 3, for example, you had an overworld that you were walking around in, but you could also swim around in like do you have a boat or something? I don't remember. It's been like 10 years since I played that game. But you could also like run around in that overworld, but it really was just getting from stage to stage to stage. It wasn't really that much of its own game, and I think this is kind of like what it's gonna be, where it's like, okay, when you've made it through a few stages, maybe you make a lock go away, or you spawn a box and you can take the box and put it over to the side over here. And then you can jump on that box and reach the next stage. So I think this is mostly what this 3D overworld is going to be. Like, there's going to be some light platforming, it seems, some light puzzling going on, but I don't think this is like a fully fledged gaming area as I would say, where you like spend time actually going through a deep gameplay. It's more like getting between stages with a bit of flair. We like some flair and charm. That's what we need. And this is what this is. This is also what I would want from a, like, it might sound like, oh man, I really wish this overworld would have more in, but not really. This is actually kind of exactly how I would want an overworld to be like in an otherwise 2D platformer. Of course, if you look at the newer Donkey Kong Country games, like Donkey Kong Country Returns, you still just have basically a level select. You just have a level select where you select the level and boom, there you go. This actually makes it so it's a bit less of just selecting a level, but you actually get to do something. You actually get to do something to go from level to level, and you can sort of basically feel the world expand and get bigger as you go through the game. But it's not so much that it like tries to compete against the 2D, because I think that would be a mistake, making the overworld compete with the levels in terms of gameplay. Why would you do that? The focus is on the 2D stages, so the overworld is really just something different to do to get to point A from point A to B and have a bit more flair and style. And I like that, and I hope that's what the rest of the overworld is going to be like as well. We see a bit more right here, like I said, like light puzzling, it seems. Over there's a berry or something, so maybe you also get more abilities. It did seem like you would get some abilities, because I think in just a bit we actually see some fire spouts. I think there's some later, but we see Yooka spouting some fire, which is also something you would do in Yooka-Laylee 1 with an upgrade. So maybe you also get some upgrades in here, although I don't think it would be anything near of what you would do in Yooka-Laylee 1, because like I said, this game is not trying to tread the same paths. It's not trying to compete on that in that same area. This is a 2D platformer. 2D platformers, if you think, for example, yeah, like 2D platforms in general don't really get that many upgrades. Like maybe you get some upgrades here and there, but they're usually more focused about evolving gameplay within a stage or from stage to stage, instead of giving you a whole lot of upgrades. That said, like I said, there could be upgrades in here. We don't know. There could be upgrades in here that you get, like some new moves. You could get that in here as well. And maybe those new moves, they also help you in the overworld. But I wouldn't say that there's going to be the same amount of moves or the same depth of moves that you had in Yooka-Laylee 1. This is not what I think this game would be about. By the way, I think this is a cannon fruit up there, and we have some destructible stuff over there. I see. So we also see that apparently it's also, as you would guess, it's also still about the pages. The pages are our friends, as long as they're actually realizing that they can just leave the cages anytime they want, because they're just so thin. Anyway, so they fly around, and we see the pages actually doing something. Right here, the pages make a waterfall appear at the side of the area here, like right there. Which seems like you might be having to do some puzzles with redirecting water stream. It seems like that because there's like a gate down there. Maybe you have to redirect water streams. But something that I also want to note right now, in case someone from Platonic is watching, which I hope someone is at some point, because I need to say this right now as a speedrunner. And I see cutscenes like this. I think to myself, by the way, I wanted to speed this up a little bit. Actually, that's not. When I see this as a speedrunner, I think to myself, can you skip this? Because if I speedrun this game and I'm gonna play through the game, like when you speedrun a game, you play through a game many times. You play through a game, like I played through Yooka-Laylee 1 like almost 100 times probably. And when you do that, when you play through the same game many times, over and over, multiple times a day, when you have cutscenes that are unskippable and take control away from you for a longer periods of time, even if it's just like 20 seconds. 20 seconds is already long enough that if you play through the game like, let's say 8 or so times a day, which you could do as a speedrunner. I don't know how long this is, but I would assume like you could probably play through this game like 8 times a day if you were a speedrunner. Having to watch 20 seconds cutscenes multiple times, I could say there's like 20 or so of these cutscenes in the game that you have to go through in a speedrun, and you play through the game 8 times a day. That's a lot of time spent just watching cutscenes that you've already seen before. So I know that this is something that a casual player isn't really gonna care about. Like a casual player isn't really gonna care about skipping 20 seconds of cutscenes, of unlocking something. But for speedrunning, this is huge. This is absolutely ginormous for speedrunning, actually. Like even when you look at Super Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time, the two most popular speed games probably, when you ask someone what is your least favorite part of the speedrun, they'll probably just say, oh yeah, having to actually go through the intro, because the intro in both games is like, and not that much Super 64, but in Ocarina of Time, for example, the intro is like 3 minutes and you don't get to do anything. It's even worse in Majora's Mask with the intro. It's not really a cutscene, but it's still, the intro is like 30 minutes before you actually get to do something. So for a speedrun, I would love, if you could skip stuff like this. I don't know if it should be skippable immediately, because if I'm a casual player and I play this game for the very first time and I accidentally skip a cutscene that tells me where stuff is unlocked, that's terrible. Because then you might get confused not knowing where stuff unlocked. But let's say I've already played through the game once. This is how wasn't this like this in Banjo-Tooie? I don't remember Banjo-Kazooie. Where if you've seen a cutscene once on another game, on another file, and then you do another file, you get to skip cutscenes. And I think this is exactly the way it should be. And I was really sad that it was like this in Yooka-Laylee 1, but we got there in the end. So I hope that maybe this time from the very start we can have it so that if we watch cutscenes like this, or just cutscenes in general, like intro, outro maybe, if you've watched these before on a game file and we have another file, maybe we can just skip all of them and get right to speedrunning, because Yooka-Laylee 1 was actually a really cool speedrun. I really like the speedrun of Yooka-Laylee 1. So Here's to hoping that's a thing, even though I know it's probably not going to be of any big priority, but I can hope. So I've got some more showing off that basically, yeah, we've gonna have some stuff that we have in Yooka-Laylee 1, like I said, with the upgrades where you get some berries, you slip them up, that's the sound effect for that, and then you get more powers. Nice. Charm, still there. There's some bee right there. I'm not quite sure, because there's two flags right here, okay? On the left you have the purple and green, which is Yooka-Laylee's colors, and on the right you have the black and white, the bad black from capital B. So I think that maybe this is an indicator on if you've beaten the stage. I would assume maybe if you haven't beaten the stage, you just have this big black flag of capital B. And once you've beaten the stage, next up to that flag, you get the purple and green Yooka-Laylee flag just pop up and be like, you plunk down your flag, or we've beaten the stage now. This is our stage now. And as I thought earlier, there are indeed probably going to be two factions of bees, because we have the bee symbol with the green and purple. So yeah, we're going to have two factions of bees, and we're on the good bee side with Queen Bee. We also see some factory fried. Okay, actually it seems like we haven't beaten this stage yet. It also seems like there's two sides of this stage. Maybe like a normal part of the stage and then like an advanced part of the stage. There seems to be something in here, and we have 5 empty spots. Maybe you have something like in Younger Country you had like, you could get the Kong letters. Maybe it's something like this here as well. Maybe you could get, wait a second, Yooka-Laylee, doesn't quite fit in. It's a bit long, Laylee is, but you know, maybe it's just Yooka twice. Who knows? Or maybe it's not even letters, it's just other stuff. I haven't even seen that from us, but it's probably just you collect this many collectibles and you have to beat the stage. So it's at least one main collectible with like these 5 things and then beating the stage. There's like 2 objectives. Also music from Btw I and Grant Kirkhope. Perfect. Exactly the 2 kinds of people who make the best soundtrack for these kinds of games. Perfect. There's a queue right there. This is also interesting. Maybe, yeah, this is we see some queues right here. Right next to the statue of Queen Bee. Maybe she actually is called Queen Bee because there's a queue right there. That would make sense, because it seems like this is the area that belongs to the Queen Bee. So, it's Queen Bee's area? You have queue for Queen? Maybe? Who knows? What's some more? It seems like ghosts up there, like ghostwriters. Are these, wait, are these purple quills? I didn't even look at that, but these seem like purple quills that seem evil. Evil purple quills? Maybe these are like the 5 collectibles that I saw earlier, and you have to... Maybe you just collect them, or maybe you have to also fight them like the ghostwriters? I don't know, maybe you probably just collect them. Or maybe they really are evil quills that hurt you. He seems to be avoiding them here. Like, of course, whoever played the demo for this trailer, like whoever played through this trailer, is a game developer, of course, and they know what the deal is with the purple quills. And if I see them avoiding the purple quill, then they probably did that on purpose. They probably avoided the purple quill, not because they just forgot to pick it up, but maybe because it actually hurts you. Also, it seems like here's a line of quills, and I say line like, of course, they're like, there's one after another, like, no, you see some sparkles, like green sparkles connecting them. So it seems like maybe there's like a green quill or whatever, and you collect the quill, and then you see like a line of quills pop up, and it's like, collect all the quills in 5 seconds, something like this. It seems like this is something like that. Like a challenge after you collect a line of quills in a certain amount of time, and there's a green quill down there. Maybe you have 5 different colors of quills. Oh, that's probably what it is. I'm figuring you out just by watching the trailer, guys. You can't hide anything from me, not Mr. Forehead. I think there's 5 different colors of quills. They're like the ghostwriters. The green quill probably has this line because there's all the green sparkles. The purple quill or the red quill or whatever color that was, maybe you have to attack it because it looked angry. It looked really angry. Maybe you have to attack into it or it hurts you, stuff like that. And maybe there's a quill that only gets visible when you get close to it and you have to like listen to an audio cue or something, maybe like that. What else could there be? Maybe there's a quill that appears when, like, let's say you have a room, and in that room you see like faint sparkles of some sort of color, and then maybe it's blue or whatever, and when you defeat all the enemies in that room, the quill pops up. So maybe like a quill that you have to like beat a bunch of enemies for. I don't know, maybe there's a quill that spawns at the end of the stage, right when you go into the stage. In order to collect it, you have to beat the stage in a certain amount of time. Think Crash Bandicoot, the timed crystals. I don't think they would do that. It's a possibility, but I don't think they would do that, because making the player, incentivizing the player to speedrun a level when they first enter the level, that's a really weird thing to do. I don't think you should do that. That's bad game design. So I don't think that's going to be a thing. Of course, there might be time challenges, but not the very first time you enter the stage. That would be weird. There's some more minions, by the way. Some corplets. They don't look corporate, I would say. Like, we know the corplets from Yooka-Laylee 1, but these don't look corporate. They don't have that sort of corporate style to them, so maybe they're just other types of monsters, we don't know. Also some more moving stuff. They look more happy. This is the same scene that we saw at the start of the trailer. It's just continued. And flowers, of course, because of course bees need flowers. These guys look so cute. Why are you hurting them, Yooka and Laylee? What have they done to you? They must have done something terrible to you. Okay, right there he went through the red quill and nothing happened. Okay, the earlier one was purple. This one is red. This is a different one. He just went through it. Maybe he didn't collect it exactly. Like maybe they're not implemented yet and they're just placeholders. I don't know. You don't know. Maybe they really are just placeholders. You don't know. There's also a bell over there. You can't quite see exactly where, because yeah, you can't quite see it. It looks like a bell that has like Laylee's wings on it. I saw at the start of this, you had this like thing that scans you. Maybe that's a checkpoint. Maybe that's a checkpoint. Maybe that's something completely different. Who knows? To prepare yourself for swinging on some ropes. Huh. This is weird. We have some purple houses in the background, some purple imagery. What if there's other bats around? What if this is what this area is? What if this is one of the areas where you go into like the tree forest, yeah, the forest area, where you see Laylee's kin? Maybe that's something that's gonna happen here. Green, of course, very important. King. Okay, that's about it. Apart from, of course, evil capital B, who's like I guess it's like the king versus queen then, I guess. It's on his airship that we're no doubt gonna board and maybe shoot at and maybe we're gonna make explode. I'm gonna call it right now, the game's gonna end with this thing exploding. And okay, now on this thing, once again we see bees versus bees. Okay, we have Queen Bee down here. I'm just gonna call her Queen Bee because it seems like that's really who she is. It's Blastoise's bird, I forgot what the bird is called. Anyway, Vendy is still around. We see some bees again. We have two different types of bees. Like, you have the bees that look more female, and we have the bees that look more male. Although, of course, who am I to impose gender identities on other living beings? That's of course not right with me. That's pretty much what this seems to be. So yeah, what do I think of it? I like it. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about it. So far I've talked about pretty much all stuff I wanted to say. It's out on Switch, Steam, PS4, Xbox One. I hope all at the same time, because if it comes out all at the same time on all of these, then I won't know which one I'm gonna get. Maybe the Switch one, probably the Switch one. I don't know. Maybe even on PC. Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to switch. Here's one important thing though. Thank you everyone for watching so far, but here's one last thing I want to say, and this is very important. I hope someone from Platonic stuck around till the end, because I have something very special to ask you. A very important question that I have. This is not anything malicious, but because I really want to know. I really want to know. On the Kickstarter for Yooka-Laylee 1, that was the stretch goal, you know, and it said DLC that's free to backers. Now I'm not gonna say like, oh my god, guys, why is the DLC? How can you make another game before the DLC? I'm not gonna be that guy. But at the same time, it does make me wonder that we just had a new game announced without any word on the DLC. If the DLC is still being worked on and it's just gonna take some time, I'm totally fine with that. I'm 100% fine with there still being work done on the DLC and it's just gonna take a bit longer. I just want to know. Because this feels really weird and that you have the next game announced but we still just don't have any word on the DLC. All you have to do is basically say, oh yeah, we're still working on it, don't worry about it, we're totally fine, we just decided to whatever do this game and then we're gonna do the DLC or something. I don't know. I just want to know. I just want to know. But yeah, that's basically it. I just want to have an update on the DLC. That's basically it. But yeah, that's Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Flare. I want to call it Flare as well, because that's some good flare right there. Oh no, I said a bad word. How did I make it through the entire video without saying a bad word? I'm gonna edit this out. Okay, I'm gonna bleep this. Okay, I'm not gonna bleep this. I'm gonna just mute it. Okay, I'm gonna mute this. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me below in the comments what you think about it. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and give me your soul. Bye.